David, what are people actually saying to you?
Yeah, I'm here in the square in front of Parliament where the action is anticipated to move, as Han was saying, in the next coming days. Nothing much happening here tonight. Pretty quiet out here. There was a small protest earlier, but really not a whole lot of action, something I think we can attribute as much to the fact that it's a Sunday in Athens, to the fact that these negotiations are going to continue. But I spent the day wandering around Athens. I spoke perhaps most memorably with a fruit seller only a few blocks from here, and we talked a lot about sort of what this meant to him, and he said something that was echoed by a number of people I spoke with today, kind of a through line through each of our conversations, and that was just expressing a real fatigue with how long this has lasted. He said to me, it's time for them to decide if they don't want us, let us go. And then most memorably to me, that Greece is a very rich country, rich with poor people. He there making the point that the poor in this country, in his estimation, have borne the brunt of this, continue to bear the brunt of all of this, and as he looks to the future, he anticipates that's going to be the case.
David, what have you been hearing about? Okay, 60 euros a limit on how much cash you can take out of an ATM. Capital controls making it very difficult to do business. What sort of sense did you have of how that's impacting everyday life for your normal Greek person?
Yeah. Everyone here has been talking about that. I didn't meet anyone who said that he rushed to the bank to remove all of the money that he has in the bank, but I spoke to a taxi driver who said that the impact of that has been fewer people riding in his cars. We took a trip down to the main passenger port here, the port of Piraeus, a place that our driver said would normally be so busy he would try to avoid. Very few ships coming in. Drivers there saying that they would have to wait 3-4 hours now, whereas they would have had to wait 1 or 2 in the past, and they would have no guarantee that there'd be a fare afterward. We spoke to somebody who runs a gasoline shop, sells petrol, and he was saying, Greeks are now making decisions to cut back based on those capital controls. Maybe they're not driving as much. Restaurants around where I'm standing now still buoyed by the fact there are a lot of tourists coming here. A restaurant owner I talked to said 90% of his sales are to tourists visiting Athens. But when you get beyond that, anecdotally we've heard, Greeks going to Greek restaurants is becoming a rarer and rarer thing, just people no longer willing or able to spend that amount of money because of the capital controls that you mentioned, Rich.